Hi guys, so a leak set video just recently dropped of Ben Grimm, aka The Thing's first look at his costume in the upcoming Fantastic Four First Steps movie. Now, previously I talked about Superman's first look and all the other costumes that are coming up in the upcoming DC film. I felt it was probably necessary, or at least even par, that I needed to go ahead and talk about Marvel's new costume coming out as well, because I have thoughts, and also gives me an opportunity to talk about a little of the evolution of live action version of Thing. Now, in the set video, you can actually see what looks like to be the head and only the hands of the actual Thing costume, which kind of gives me pause because in any other live action version of the Thing, we've always kind of gotten like a topless Thing in just pants.
What?
I know that sounded sexy because he's topless, but this takes a big departure from what we've normally seen in live action. Is this because they are trying to cut costs with the CGI or with prosthetic work on this costume, and maybe it won't look so good overall as one particular thing? Or are they looking to maybe strip it off later like Wolverine did in Deadpool and Wolverine when he took the sleeves off his costume? Yes, once again, that does sound sexy as I'm talking about the Thing. Even saying the Thing actually sounds sexy.
What did he say?
Back to what I'm talking about. Anyway, so it is a real big departure from what we've normally seen. Even in the comic books, he normally wears a pair of shorts. So, I mean, this dude is always semi-nude when he makes his appearances. And I assume if you're made of all of rocks, then you want to be kind of free to kind of move around without all the bindings of clothing. So I am wondering what they're really doing with this. Now, it could be a good thing. Maybe we don't need to see as much with this particular costume to kind of help preserve the effect, so that way we're not always just pointing out the negative things in costumes and CGI. I don't like what I'm doing right now. Other thing that I noticed from the set video is that it seems to be mostly prosthetic. One of the great things about the Roger Corman version of it, or even the Michael Chiklis version, is that they were prosthetic. Unfortunately, the Matt Trank version was not the same, and that's why I got some of this criticism. But either way, the prosthetic ones help the actor move a lot better in the costume, and the realism kind of goes up because it feels like it's at least it's a part of it and not something that just kind of got added on later. As with most costumes, when they're done prosthetically, at least in this age, they kind of clean them up and kind of refine them with CGI, and that's probably the best way to do this thing. So I'm very, very happy to see that it is prosthetic. It feels more real world when it is. Those are probably all we can really get from the set videos. He does look like a big hulking person. He does look on the shorter side, and the Thing has actually been played both ways. In the I said Matt Trank, Josh Trank version, he was kind of like a mountain of a man, like a rock man. Anyway, he was kind of a mountain of a man. And then the Michael Chiklis version and then the Roger Corman version, he was not as big. So this one looks like it's gonna be kind of more like bigger in width, like a brick wall, as opposed to being like this towering immense thing, like we saw with the Josh Trank version. I'm very excited to kind of see more. I can't wait to see what we actually see in a trailer. But I wanted to talk a few minutes about the previous versions. Let's go all the way back to 1995, where we look at the Roger Corman version. And like I said before, with the Roger Corman version, even though it did not officially come out, it's out, everybody's seen it. I think they did a great job for what they were doing. In this particular version, it was prosthetic. They didn't have the budget to clean it up. If they really had the budget for this film, this thing probably would be something we would kind of go back to as being like one of the most iconic versions of the Thing. He kind of had the Crow Magnum, what is it? The brow, the prominent brow on it. The way his head was shaped was kind of helmety. The hands were bulky. I really love what they did with the Roger Corman one. It's such a sad thing that film didn't come out. Moving on to the Tim Story version of the Fantastic Four. Sorry, I had to look over to the side because I couldn't remember off the top of my head. With Michael Chiklis, his version seemed to be more of a man with rocks painted on him, even though it was prosthetics. But the way that he acted in the costume definitely reminded me of what the Thing represented in the comic books. Even though some people will make the argument that's probably one of the best costumes, I still think the Roger Corman one was probably better. But it was a great costume for what it was. Moving on to the Josh Trank version, where we got mostly CGI. And this movie probably could have done more to really show off this version of the thing, but because of budgetary cuts and studio interference, we got a lot of the scenes cut out. So maybe that's the reason why this one isn't one of the definitive versions of the thing. Now we move on to this version, and like I said, I'm really excited to what they do. I really hope that he goes topless and takes off the shirt. But maybe that's something they're going to do later. Maybe they're going to give a good reason of why he's wearing this full costume as opposed to, or maybe he will start off that way and they just put on the costume as a way to kind of show unity in their particular group. I'm a big fan of what Marvel is doing now. I know there was a down period in their movies, and I think this one will probably be on the uptick as far as where they're going with the quality of their movies. Very, very excited to see it. Can't wait to see a full trailer drop out. But tell me what you guys think about the costume in the comments below. And if this is the first time, make sure you subscribe as well as click the notification button so that way you're aware of all the other videos that we do on the channel. Maybe another costume will come out and we'll go ahead and get my reaction to that as well. All right. So that being said, you guys take care.
Wait, guys, are you still here? I'm glad you're still here. All right, so if you look down, I mean, it's somewhere over here. Look down. We actually have a Patreon. So if you guys watch the show and you really like what we want to do and you want to help support the show and you want to help me get an editor so I can get to sleep at night because I'm really tired and you guys see all my mistakes in the episodes. So please go to patreon.com/thegoods. Give us a penny, give us a nickel, give us $1.
Just don't give us the finger.
Don't do that. But make sure you do donate something because we do have some giveaways. There's posters, there's t-shirts.
I'll sign something for you.
Exactly. So take a look, guys, and help us out. We appreciate it.